Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. This is a video on daily topic-wise news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. So the most important news and editorial would be discussed in this session, and additionally I'll be supplementing the content with some relevant information that can help you in prelims and mains examination. So let's get started with the topic first. Today is 10th of June. The first topic is Cabinet approve MSP for the Kharif crops. Second, Finance Ministry released monthly economic review report. Third, US Senate passes huge innovation bill. So via this bill, US is aiming to counter the China. Second last, scrutinizing the states on reform and public expenditure. This is an editorial. We're discussing two editorial a day. And the last is promise and peril of digital justice delivery, right? Apart from all this discussion, there would be some current affairs based question, most relevant current affairs and most recent current affairs that will help you in the upcoming prelims examination. So do stay tuned till end of this video so that you could practice some important questions. And those of you who are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, do not forget to give a thumbs up. We'll start our session with the first news, that is Cabinet approve MSP for the Kharif crop. Minimum support price. The government has come up with a revision of the prices amid the protest. They have increased some of the prices for the Kharif. We'll see the detail about this. Talking about its relevance on the mains paper, important for your general studies paper 2, government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors. And some basic concept would again be important for your prelims examination as well. So the Cabinet Committee on Economy Affairs, also known as CCEA, right, a powerful body, उन्होंने recently approve किया है MSP में जो hike है for the Kharif crop that include paddy, pulses and oilseeds. Now the central government has hiked the minimum support price for the common paddy to 1940 quintal के हिसाब से, and coming Kharif season में the less than 4%. Last year it was 1864. Right, so there's marginal increase of 4%. Now this is a complete data, a complete chart that will help you understand about the prices. I'm just telling you to understand the trend, right? कितनी turnover cost में changes हुई है, absolute increase MSP per quintal क्या है, और MSP for 2021-2022. So you can see for the paddy, which I've told you, again include bajra, ragi, maize, tur, moong, urad, groundnut and sunflower seeds. So make sure you remember this name as well, because many a times they ask you, and this is a price which is mentioned over here. You don't need to remember the price, just see the trend whether it's increasing or decreasing. Now coming to the promotions of crop diversification की अगर बात करें, so जिस तरह से गवर्नमेंट ने डिसीजन लिया है, a bit to increase the crop diversifications, there was slightly increase in the MSP for the pulses, oil seeds and coarse grain. So you can see the prices for the pulses here, like urad, moong and tur, right, and oil seed also. Now for the tur and urad, they saw the MSP which was raised by 300. So that is a marginal clean of 5% increase per quintal. While the highest absolute increase was in a sesame, that is a seed which is being used for the oil, right? And groundnut and nigger seeds has seen the increase of 275 rupees. Now talking about the maize, there's an increase of 20 rupees per quintal, right? So this is sum ups to 1870. And paddy MSP has hiked by 4% compared to the last year. So this is a complete changes that is coming on the MSP part. Because of the protest across the country, government is looking forward to revision of the prices of the important cereals. Now about minimum support price, what is MSP? MSP is a rate जहाँ पे government purchase करती है crops from the farmer, and it is based on calculation of at least 1.5 times cost of the productions incurred by the farmer. So mostly it is tried to give more than 1.5 times to the farmer whatever they have, the actual cost they have incurred on their entire farming. तो उनके जो भी costing हुई है उससे उनको 1.5 गुना ज़्यादा देने की कोशिश की जाती है MSP में. Now the reasons behind the MSP is to counter the price volatility in the agriculture commodities. बहुत सारे factors होते हैं like supply, lack of market integration and information asymmetry. So this is why there's a centralized process where government procure directly from the farmers. Now farmers protest, we know that after the new farm bill, 3 farm bill, the which central government has passed, although that has been stayed by the Supreme Court. So government ने जिस समय से इसको pass किया, there is a contagious reform, there is a contagious repeal that is again being asked from the farmer community. And this announcement comes when the farm union have protested more than 6 months in the Delhi's outskirts area. Basically, they have sealed many borders, adjacent area in Delhi. So they want there should be the guaranteed MSP. So this decision government has taken, they're giving a positive feedback to the farmer community. But definitely the protesters which are there for the repealment of this law, they only want कि इस law को repeal किया जाए और खत्म किया जाए. Now the other news from the Indian Express, Finance Ministry monthly economic review of policy, important for your general studies paper 3, right? Inclusive growth and issues arising from it. Now the Union Finance Ministry has released a monthly economic report. This is for May 2021. कुछ important findings बताई गई है economic performance को लेकर के. So the ministry report said that quickening the pace and coverage of vaccination is a critical to help India and heal and regain the momentum of economy, right? So this is also giving a real-time feedback that vaccination is something which is impacting overall development and overall pace of the economy. Now rapid vaccination is again the front loading in the fiscal measures. So union budget में already 35,000 crore rupees allocate किए गए थे. So this is something which is again very important at this point of time when India has to give more coverage to the people, right? So accordingly अभी government ने बहुत सारे important decisions लिए हैं vaccination process को लेकर के. We are hopeful that by December 2021, like more than 50% of the population would be vaccinated. Although government has target at least 70%, but let's see. We are hopeful, we are optimistic that they would be doing it at the earliest. Now talking about the GDP performance in this report, so the report said कि जो second wave COVID-19 थी, जिस तरह से उसमें economy में हुई थी, India gross domestic product that just grew 1.6% in the fourth quarter from January to March 2021. So first quarter में performance बहुत ही खराब रही है. And talking about the full financial year for 2020-2021, you know, this is during the first lockdown, the entire economy has contracted to -7.3%. And quickening the pace and coverage of the vaccination, which I've told you in the beginning, would be very critical to regain and heal India in the momentum of economy recovery. Now vaccination drive that government has taken, they have started. It is being argued that this is the world's largest vaccination, considering the fact that India as the largest population. So this vaccination drive would be again largest. China is, in terms of population, China is number 1, but then also the vaccination is largest in the world. And India with 23.9 crore doses administered on the date. So we have seen that vaccination drive would gradually increase in the month of June, July and August. So let's see how the production is also increasing, and after productions ये भी ज़रूरी है कि लोगों को वैक्सीनेशन दी जाए. सिर्फ प्रोडक्शन बढ़ाने से ज़रूरत नहीं है, हमें लोगों तक वैक्सीनेशन भी करना है. That is also very important. So vaccinations to achieve the herd immunity, and to achieve the herd immunity, we need to vaccinate almost 75 to 80% our total population, right? Minimum 70% has to be vaccinated, right? And challenges pertaining to vaccine supply, vaccine hesitancy, operational aspects to achieve our daily coverage, widespread reach must be anticipated and planned in advance. अब बात करें अगर एग्रीकल्चर और कुछ दूसरे सेक्टर्स की, वहाँ पे क्या परफॉर्मेंस रही है. सो रिपोर्ट ने बताया कि एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर इज शोइंग गुड प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स, एंड वी हैव सीन ड्यूरिंग फर्स्ट क्वार्टर ऑल्सो एग्रीकल्चर वाज द ओनली सेक्टर विच हैज़ ग्रू 3.4%, राइट. यहाँ पे नेगेटिव ग्रोथ नहीं देखी गई थी. दिस वाज ऑन द पॉजिटिव साइड. एंड एग्रीकल्चर कंटिन्यूज टू हैव अ कंफर्टेबल प्रॉस्पेक्ट्स, जहाँ पे नॉर्मल मानसून फोरकास्ट भी हुई इंडिया में, स्मूथ फूड प्रिक्योरमेंट भी हुई, और मनरेगा में काफ़ी लोगों की इनरोलमेंट बढ़ी है. Now talking about the 8 core sectors, PMI manufacturing की अगर बात करें, स्टील कंजम्पशंस की बात करें, ऑटो सेल्स, ट्रैक्टर सेल्स, पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट्स कंजम्पशंस, रेल फ्रेट्स, ट्रैफिक्स, PMI सर्विसेज की बात करें, हाईवे टोल कलेक्शंस, GST कलेक्शंस and UPI transactions that has gradually increased, right? So these sectors are performing well. They have some positive aspects on the Indian economy. Now after declining, बात ये की गई है कि जो high frequency indicators हैं जैसे power consumptions है, e-way bill है, portfolio जो foreign portfolio investment है also known as FPI, they have witnessed the upstick in the second half of May 2021. So this is increasing. It will take another quarter. So the next quarter की अगर बात करें, so it can improve in that particular quarter, quarter 3 and quarter 4. Now US Senate passes huge innovation bill. Now this is important for your general studies paper 2 in the mains paper. Policies, effect and policies of developed and developing countries. So what is the details? That recently the US Senate has passed a spending hit, basically they have passed a spending bill that would allow nearly $250 billion to the American scientific community, and they would be spending specifically $10 billion for the development of private crewed moon landers for the NASA. So why this decision? Because US want कि जो China जिस तरह से dominate कर रही है region को, an entire globe, they want to counter it, and China basically US has said, US के जो president है Donald Trump, they have categorically said, the new president, I'm really sorry for that, the new president, that is Joe Biden, right? Joe Biden is the new president, and he said that the country they should be the number one in terms of advancement, right? So जो previous president थे Donald Trump, उनकी भी पूरी कोशिश थी कि किस तरह से वो innovate कर सके, and they were developing on that part. But this time the Joe Biden government want कि innovation और technology जो generation है, that should be their topmost priority. Now aim of the bill, basically जो US Senate ने जिस bill को pass किया है, this is an industrial policy bill aimed at countering and surging the economy threat from rival China, right? So they don't want US, intentionally don't want कि कोई भी ऐसी country उसको dominate कर सके technology, right? And US authorities have decided to support pumping more than $170 billion to reach the research and development. So a huge amount pumping into the innovation sector so that no country can counter them. And both American politician parties, दोनों जो political parties है, वहाँ पे दो political parties है, Republican and Democratic. तो दोनों पार्टी चाहती हैं कि उनकी competition जो हो एशिया में बढ़ रही है उसको वो dominate कर सके. एंड यहाँ पे ये दोनों जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी है वो यूनानिमसली उन्होंने डिसाइड किया कि यस, वी अमेरिकन नीड टू बी देयर ऑन द टॉप इन टर्म्स ऑफ इनोवेशन एंड साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी. सो दिस इज द एंटायर रैशनल बिहाइंड यूएस. सम की एरियाज जहाँ पे वो काम करेंगे. सो द प्रपोजल एम टू एड्रेस द क्रोनोलॉजिकल टेक्नोलॉजिकल एरियाज जहाँ पे दे वांट दैट चाइना शुड बी फॉलोइंग बिहाइंड. दे हैव एलोकेटेड 52 बिलियन ऑफ द फंड प्रीवियसली व्हिच दे हैव इम्प्रूव्ड manufacturing and semiconductors के लिए. Also 150 billion for the 5-year activities of the National Science Foundations, advanced priorities including research and development, key areas of artificial intelligence and quantum science. So US is working in terms of this sector, some advanced sector, so that they can overtake China in coming years, and it facilitates up the private firms research and the universities as well. Now the other news, this is an editorial talking about scrutinizing the states on reform in public enterprises. This is important for your general studies paper 2, structure, organization and function of executive and judiciary. So what is the main theme under this editorial? Issues क्या क्या हैं? अगर थीम की बात करें तो this talks about technology to revolutionize Indian code, the e-code project के बारे में बात की गई, and I'll be discussing this entire editorial in 5 subheads, that is the promise and perils of digital delivery systems, e-code project, some concern, main objective of the phase 3 and the role of technology. So we'll consider each subsection one by one. Now ई कमिटी जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट की, उन्होंने रिसेंटली एक ड्राफ्ट विजन डॉक्यूमेंट फेज 3 ई कोर्ट्स के लिए रिलीज किया है, और इस जो डेटा के मुताबिक सुप्रीम कोर्ट इन जून 2020 ई कमिटी जो है उन्होंने 3.2 करोड़ केसेस को पेंडिंग बताया है, एंड 85,000 ऑफ विच हैज़ बीन पेंडिंग फॉर 30 years, राइट. सो टू ओवरकम दिस पेंडिंग केसेस they are looking for some technological advancement so that the resolution can be given to these cases. So the real question is, can technology be used to revolutionize the Indian courts? ये सबसे अहम क्वेश्चन है और आपसे प्रीलिम्स मेंस में भी इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे जहां पे you have to share your opinion. So you can quote about this project, that is phase 3 project of the e-court. Yes, the expert of the opinion कि definitely we can overcome this, but some challenges are regarding the constitutional framework and fundamental right of the citizen. क्योंकि किसी की privacy कोई जो digital form में अगर किसी की information store हो रही है तो it has to be there कि वहाँ पे उनके fundamental rights should not be violated. Now e-court project क्या है? सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया जहाँ पे उनकी ई कमेटी ने रिसेंटली रिलीज किया फेज 3 प्रोजेक्ट्स को. सो फेज 2 and phase 1 and phase 2 dealt with digitalization of judiciary, where e-filing, tracking of online cases, uploading judgment and online work would be done, right? And this would particularly show during the COVID-19 pandemic जहाँ पे physical court पूरी तरह से functions नहीं कर पा रही थी and there was a delay in attending the cases as well. So this is a commitment of digitalization of the court process which plan to upgrade the electronic infrastructure, judiciary and enable access to the lawyer and litigants. So e-court project in itself is very great success if taken by the Supreme Court of India. So let's see how this is executed, because this is of the belief that it will give some fruitful results. Now some concern several individual organizations ने उन्होंने वार्न किया है कि जो डेटा कलेक्शंस की जा रही है उसमें कोई कॉन्टेम्पलेशंस ना हो, क्योंकि जो सीमलेस एक्सचेंज ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन है लार्ज अमाउंट में इसमें डेटा गैदर की जाएगी. सो डेटा कलेक्शन के कोई इविल प्रोसेस ना हो, बिकॉज इट इज़ अ कॉम्प्लेक्स प्रोसेस एंड प्राइवेसी हैज़ टू मेंटेन. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट मस्ट टेक दैट इट डज नॉट वॉलेट द राइट टू प्राइवेसी स्टैंडर्ड, जो कि पुट्टास्वामी वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया केसेस में ऑलरेडी इस चीज़ को तवज्जो दी गई है दैट इंडिया डज नॉट येट हैव अ डेटा प्रोटेक्शन regime. So government of India, Supreme Court has to look into this matter so that there's no issues, there's no concern regarding the data privacy. Now main objective of the phase 3. So data can be used to provide acronyms, aggregated statistical information about the issues, identifying the individuals. Now अगर बात करें क्या क्या और benefits होंगे, this would made possible by the phase 3 by encouraging uniformity as digitization of एंटिटी फीड्स, जो एंट्री फील्ड्स है या फिर जो इन्फॉर्मेशन है वो क्विकली अवेलेबल होगी. एंड दिस इज अ 360 डिग्री अप्रोच दैट विड गिव एन मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव टू द फेज 3. So they are comprehensively trying to integrate each and every court under this, and localized data would be also centralized. So from the lower court to the higher court to the Supreme Court, they are trying to sync everything. Now role of technology, since phase 3 की अगर बात करें, एक डॉक्यूमेंट ड्राफ्ट है जहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटी है एक डिजिटल इकोसिस्टम बनाने की. एंड द मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव इज टू स्ट्रीमलाइन द जुडिशियल प्रोसेस. जो पेंडिंग केसेस हैं, जो लिटिगेंट्स के जो केसेस हैं, उनको जल्दी से बेसिकली दे शुड बी डिस्पोज्ड ऑफ, एंड द कोर्ट मस्ट मूव टुवर्ड्स द लोकलाइज्ड डेटा इंस्टेड ऑफ सेंट्रलाइज्ड. द कमिटी ने ये भी कहा है कि जो सीमलेस एक्सचेंज होंगी ऑफ द डेटा दैट मस्ट हैव द ब्रांचेस एंड आउट टू रिमेन द सेपरेट. सो दे वुड बी टेकिंग केयर विद द प्राइवेसी पार्ट and the saving of the important informations. And technology play a very important role in the project, but it cannot end in itself, right? So there's another level of advancement which will definitely continue in terms of the technology advancement. Now coming to the other news, this is from the Indian Express, an editorial written by Vivek Deborah. So it talks about the promise and perils of digital justice delivery system. So we'll see how the things would work and what are the important points that they need to, right? So parliament, state legislature and functions of the business. Issues under this would be state functioning scrutiny, state level expenditure. We'll see how the state level expenditure is working, monitoring of the state legislature in India, parliament and the state assembly meeting, and non-compliances of the scrutiny. So we'll see how the state actually function and what are the things that they need to perform. So constitution के जो 7th शेड्यूल है उसमें ऑलरेडी separations of power के बारे में बात की गई है. There are 3 specific domain. One is union list, whereas central government, and the last is concurrent list. So इसमें comparison की गई है जो laws बन रही है ना, तो public attention जो यहाँ पे ज़रूरी है कि जो executive arms हैं, जो legislatures हैं, जो judiciary है, that has to also play an important role and overall functioning of the government, right? एज अ सिटीजन वी शुड बी कंसर्न विद द प्रोडक्टिव ऑफ द लेजिस्लेचर्स टू। तो लेजिस्लेचर की जो प्रोडक्टिविटी है उसमें भी हमें ध्यान देने की ज़रूरत है, राइट। एंड इफ यू हैव मैट्रिक्स इंफॉर्मेशन गैग्स, एफिकेसी ऑफ लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा प्ले अ लार्जर रोल। और यहाँ पे PRS के बारे में बात की गई है, PRS लेजिस्लेटिव रिसर्च, जो कि बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट फाइंडिंग्स देती है पूरे लोकसभा और राज्यसभा के कामकाज को लेकर के, राइट। एंड वी ऑलरेडी हैव अ कंपाइलेशन इन आर यूट्यूब सीरीज PRS लेजिस्लेटिव रिसर्च की जो मंथली पॉलिसी रिव्यू है MPR, where I used to make every month. So you can watch that video, very informative videos that will help you in prelims and mains examination. Do check it out, the playlist section in our YouTube channel. Now state level expenditures की बात की गई है यहाँ पे। Alternatively, there's a limited scrutiny of the state expenditures. Fiscal devolution, decentralization of decision making is something which is very important. बहुत सारे factors हैं we need to see into the reform, concurrent list और state list के अंदर। Now the PRS has ventured into monitoring the state legislature, जहाँ पे probably वो start करेंगे better information ताकि लोगों को पता चल पाए कि what is the exact functioning of the state level expenditures. Now monitoring the state legislature, how it can be monitored, तो PRS ने अपने report में ये focus किया है कि जो legislative work function है in this calendar it is based on the compiled from the state legislature websites. और कोविड-19 में जो स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर ने फंक्शन किया था, इवन द यूनियन टेरिटरी ऑफ दिल्ली वेयर विच अकाउंटेड फॉर द 90% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन इन द कंट्री, राइट। सो 19 स्टेट्स ने ऑलरेडी ठीक ठाक फंक्शंस किए, बट बिल बहुत कम पास हुए। इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन डेटा ऑन द स्टेट लेजर इज नॉट ईजिली अवेलेबल बिकॉज व्हेन यू गो फॉर द स्टेट डेटा दे आर नॉट एक्जैक्ट अवेलेबल ऑन द वेबसाइट्स। सो PRS is working on that so that they can give you the exact informations. Well, some states have published the data on regular basis, but many have the semestic reporting of the legislative proceeding of the business. So बहुत states ने इनको report भी नहीं किया हुआ। Now state legislature in India कैसे ये काम करती है? Most of the state are unicameral. बात करें एक ही वहाँ पे assemblies है, there is not bicameral जहाँ पे legislative assembly और legislative council भी हो। सिर्फ कुछ states है जहाँ पे legislative councils हैं, आंध्र प्रदेश, बिहार, कर्नाटका, महाराष्ट्र, तेलंगाना एंड यूपी, राइट। इसके पीछे भी कुछ colonial reasons हैं because of the legislative council existing, because many states have scrapped legislative council with the valid region. और बहुत स्टेट्स ने इसको बंद कर दिया क्योंकि बार बार किसी बिल को पास करने के लिए once it has to be passed from the legislative council, then again it has to be passed from the legislative assembly, so it takes lot more time और वहाँ पे जो वेलफेयर स्कीम्स है वो पेंडिंग हो जाती थी, राइट। सो द डिबेट अज्यूम द सिग्निफिकेंस। वेस्ट बंगाल ने भी इसको एबॉलिश किया था 1969 में, बट द न्यूली इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट वांट इट बैक, राइट। सो लेट्स सी हाउ वेदर दे वुड बी कमिंग अप विद दिस न्यू लेजिस्लेटिव काउंसिल और नॉट। नाउ पार्लियामेंट एंड स्टेट असेंबलीज मीटिंग की अगर बात करें, सो एनुअल रिव्यू में ये पता चला कि जो फंक्शंस हैं पार्लियामेंट की फॉर 2020 द फर्स्ट वेव सॉ द पेंडेमिक, जहाँ पे पार्लियामेंट की 33 डेज की मीटिंग हुई थी इन 2020, एंड बिफोर पेंडेमिक इट हैज़ जस्ट मेट फॉर 29 डेज, राइट। सो प्री कोविड टाइम्स में 29 डेज, बट बाद में इसको ग्रेजुअली इंक्रीज किया गया। नाउ इन प्री 2029 19 स्टेट्स जो हैं उन्होंने 29 डेज तक फंक्शंस किया, एंड इन 2020 एवरेज अगर बात की जाए स्टेट्स की, दे आर फंक्शनिंग ओनली 18 डेज। सो दीज डिटेल्स हैव कम with the PRS annual review, right? And Karnataka passed 61 bills, the highest in the country, and the lowest was passed in Delhi. Delhi ने सिर्फ एक बिल पास किया, और सेम फॉलोड की गई थी वेस्ट बंगाल, केरला, which have passed 2 and 3 bill respectively. Now नॉन कंप्लाइंसेज एंड स्क्रूटनी की अगर बात करें, बहुत सारे ऐसे स्टेट लेजिस्लेचर हैं जिन्होंने अपने बिल की स्क्रूटनी नहीं की है। 59% ऑफ द बिल वेर पास्ड ऑन द सेम डे विदाउट डिस्कशन, राइट। और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल खास करके अगर जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन की जो कोर एसेंस है, जो पार्लियामेंट फंक्शंस की कोर एसेंस है, वहाँ पे स्क्रूटनी एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट रोल अदा करती है, राइट। सो अ फर्दर 14% वेर पास इन वन डे बीइंग इंट्रोड्यूस्ड। तो पार्लियामेंट ने किसी भी बिल को पार्लियामेंट स्टैंडिंग कमेटी को नहीं भेजा, जो कि जिसका काम है हर चीज़ों को स्क्रूटनाइज करना, उसकी खामियां बताना, उसकी कमियां निकालना, एंड दैट कैन बी रेक्टिफाइड, राइट। सो गवर्नमेंट वाज इन हरी, दे हैव पास्ड द बिल on the same day, and such commitment of non-existent of scrutiny has been seen. So this is all that was reported in the PRS, and a robust committee system with the fewer working of the state legislature was seen. 2020 की बात करें, several states have decided to reduce the salaries, allowances of their MLAs, MLCs, ministers, speakers and whips, right? So these were the non-compliances in terms of overall scrutiny for the parliament function. Now coming to the MCQs questions, before I proceed are the answers of yesterday questions. For the first question, the correct option here is C. For the second question, the correct option here is A. Now coming to the MCQs question, consider the following statement about Young Coming Versatile Authors scheme. This is called UI scheme. It aims at training 75 aspiring writers below 30 years of age. The National Book Trust under the Ministry of Education would ensure a phased-wise education scheme. So which among the following is correct? A, B, both 1 and 2, and neither 1 or not 2. So whatever you feel is the correct answer, do write your answer. These are the most important and updated latest question that is asked in this MCQs. Second, consider the following statement regarding the performance grading index. Niti Aayog has released the PGI for 1920 for the state and union territory. This is the latest. Like PGI is a tool that provides insights on the status of school education. State and UTs are the key leverage in the performance of the critical areas and improvement, right? So again, you have to choose the correct option and write that in the comment section down below. Participate in the question answer and write your correct answer in the comment section. If you have any other concern, you can let us know. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Wish you all the best. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you so much.